This is all because I couldn't update OBS that one time, isn't it? Okay, we're back. Hopefully that's this stream's one crash. One and done out of the way. Although it probably broke the jukebox on here. Okay, are we still live? Are live again? Yeah, alright. Okay. So as I was saying, it's now daytime. Switching it, making the sun come up crashed the server. But you know, here we are. And you guys have now kind of split up into, I think, a couple of different groups. Actually, you know, what we have traditionally done and what we should do is show where you all are by actually putting you on this map in miniature. So Curls is over here, I think, at Gems, Jewels, and Jade, buying diamond dust. Bella.
I just got to Mr. Fitzywell's house.
Yeah, I think you and Vapos just came across the guy covered in wrappings standing on the roof above the smoking pile of corpses.
It's my BFF.
This guy is so fucking cool.
I'm not sure.
I love him.
I'm not sure where Mavra is because Danielle had to leave, of course. But you can kind of decide where you want to be, Mavra, and we'll get to you in a second. And Bref is down at the water. And he found that the water is green. It's like fouled, but like in a different way. It's like different foulness than you guys were encountering before. Pretty.
I am not a big fan.
Indeed. But before I turn over to you guys, I have to call attention to Mavra's new art. Behold! The green armored dwarven fighter Mavra in her new glory on Danielle's art right there. She has agreed to post the art on Discord, so you can check out the larger version. But amazing. I think it's amazing. And you know it's what it's meant to look like. Coming from the mind of the artist herself. The player herself. Okay, so, is there anyone else in the party that I've forgotten to put on the map? No? That's everybody? It's weird because this
There's only 5 of us.
I know, it's the smallest the party's ever been. Okay, so Mavra, where do you want to be?
I think maybe she would go with Bella and Vapos.
Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and move yourself next to them on that little winding path. So at this moment, the 3 of you have been making your way up the winding path. There are these strings that line either side of the path, hung with little bells. Little bells that jingle and jangle in the wind off the lake. And you met someone coming down the path earlier, a moment ago, tapping with a stick and kind of tapping on the string as well, making the bells jingle some more. A woman with wrapping around her eyes, clearly not able to see. But at this moment, the 3 of you stand before this pile of corpses, including that of a giant. There are arms and legs horribly sticking out at odd angles, charred and half burned away and smoking. And there's a sign, a wooden sign, painted roughly in front of this pile of corpses that reads, "Warning. If you are here to kill Master Fitzywell, beware." And a voice comes from the rooftop of this sprawling one-story building at the top of this little hill. And this tall, this slightly angular figure, wiry looking, stands on top of the roof, wrapped in bandages, wrappings all over every inch of the body, except, of course, the eyes, which are this piercing, odd kind of color, kind of amber, and oddly shaped too. There's something very inhuman about them. And he has this long sword at his back that's silvery and dark and at the same time and strange. It looks like it was melted out and froze into place. This enormous silvery greatsword strapped across his back. And he looks down at you all, and I'm sorry if my voices are off tonight because of the allergies that are destroying me, but he says, he doesn't cough. He says, "Welcome to the Roadheart General Store. Are you here in search of Master Fitzywell?"
Yes, we are, but I should definitely clarify that we are not here to kill him. We are just here to peek,
This time.
and say hello.
We're not here to kill him this time.
Anymore.
And when you say yes, the figure raises his hand to the handle of the enormous greatsword. And then as you say you're not here to kill him, he lets go and puts his hand down, folds his hands, and looms over you from the roof. "I seem to remember you."
Yes, we were here a few months ago. We stopped in. I'm the daughter of one of the other great bards, and he and I had a lovely conversation the last time we were here, so I was hoping to come and see how he was doing.
"Oh, well then, welcome. Please stay peaceable and friendly and enjoy your time here."
Thank you. And I guess if he'll allow it, I'll walk past him into the general store.
The amber-colored eyes watch the three of you carefully as you pass. You can't quite tell what this manner of creature he may be. The only clue being those oddly shaped and colored eyes.
As Vapos gets close, he's gonna stop for a second and just introduce himself. Hello, I don't believe that we've met before. My name is Vapos. I'm a recent addition to Bella's group here, and I was also hoping to see Master Fitzywell, though similarly I'm not under the JS to kill him.
Ah, you are aware of the Geish.
Yes, we learned about it the last time we were here in town.
Yes, I seem to recall. Well, good. I don't suppose you have made any progress in clearing up that problem.
wouldn't say we've made a lot of progress. We have a few leads, but I don't want to overemphasize how far we've gotten. Perhaps that's something that we could talk to Master Fitzywell about while we're here.
In that case, best of luck, and you should know that the reward has been tripled.
Good to know.
He nods, and he gives a special nod to Vapos. You appear to be one trained in martial arts.
Yes, I was. I was actually not for a terribly long time, but for a short time I was trained under Master Fitzywell. Though I don't believe it's the same one that resides here.
Indeed. Indeed not. You can't really tell if he's laughing, but because he's so heavily shrouded in wrappings, but he kind of shakes. I bid you safe travels, fellow warrior.
Vapos will just kind of awkwardly bow and just say, and I wish you good fortune in defending your charge here.
Thank you, though I little need it.
Vapos will just nod and move on.
When you guys enter the grounds of the Roadheart General Store, you find it's all strung through with more strings and bells, kind of crisscrossing the area. And there are people kind of going around. Most of them, some of them have kind of like milky white eyes. Others have their eyes covered. But they kind of seem to be feeling their way along the walls. You see some people they're not even looking at it, but they're kind of playing a board game by touch with some stones on a checkered board. Kind of a carven board. And you see a couple of others preparing some food, possibly lunch. You can smell, it seems like somebody brought something up from the feast down below in the main town square. And you kind of remember the layout a little bit, Bella, but there's a sign and a series of strings with bells that lead into the main kind of part of the store proper, which also is kind of where the guy you're looking to see usually sits, where Marias usually sits.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
As you make your way into that room, kind of picking your way between people, they kind of cock their heads like they're listening as they hear your footfalls as the three of you pass by. Mavra in her green armor, probably making the most noise. You find this darkened room with these shelves and everything kind of laid out with like some space in between the stuff on the shelves, all manner of goods and for sale, each with like a price that's laid out in with wooden blocks so that you can actually feel it rather than reading it. And kind of toward the back middle of the room is a kind of a desk where there are various things like papers. There's like what looks like a strong box. There's like a couple of different colored and sized bells, and a bunch of fragrant spice, like the spice jars are laid out. And as every general store has, there's a series of barrels you have to pass by, each of them piled high with something that you might grab. Like there's one that clearly has like toffee, like twisted into bits of wax paper. There's another one with some kind of it looks like a wooden tool. You glance in and you see it's like a bunch of rakes in a barrel, and all of this you are seeing in kind of a darkened room. There are no lights on. There's no candles burning. There's no lamps. And the windows are somewhat shuttered. Like there's a little light still coming in, so you can kind of see, dimly. But there's not very much light in here. Now, seated behind the desk is an elf, a male elf. He looks like this. He has these kind of silvery eyes, washed out, like no, and he kind of does it. He turns his ear toward you as you guys come in, rather than looking at you. He's he's got his hair cut short, and he wears this kind of fine green doublet. And he's seated behind the desk, and he's kind of he's feeling his way along a paper, and he's like making holes in this paper with a kind of it's like a pen, but it's kind of a poker thing. It's kind of steel, like a needle, and he's like poking holes in it. It's as if he's writing a letter on a piece of paper, but not with ink.
Well, I'll head over to him.
This universe has Braille confirmed.
And when I get close, I'll say, "Hello, Master Fitzywell. It's Bella and Doral come back to visit you."
Ah, Bella and Doral, the travel writer.
Correct. Yes. We were here a few months ago, and I wanted to stop in and see how you were doing while we were in town.
Excellent.
I've brought with me a couple of friends. This is Mavra, who was here with us last time, and then my friend Vapos, who was very interested to meet you.
Ah, Vapos. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Master Marias Fitzywell of Roadheart General Store.
It is a pleasure to meet you, sir.
And you have I hope you won't think me rude for saying so, a very unique sound to you.
Well, I suppose that may have something to do with my my heritage. I'm a Genasi, you see, or water descendant.
Ah, interesting. And I've heard of such folk as you. And would I be right in guessing that you are also dressed a little like Hramak? You hear a response. Yes, he is. And you see the figure in wrappings with the huge silvery greatsword. He is not sure where he came in, actually. Because he didn't come in by the door you guys did, but kind of from the shadowy back of the store. And he steps forward and says, your hearing is just right. He is wearing wrappings similar to the ones I bear. Oh, yes, that would make sense. I hope Hramak was polite to you. He has had to deal with an awful lot lately.
Oh,
It's
he's always
full of
polite.
hospitality.
Oh, good. Good. I am always polite. Now, if all is well, I will return. Ring if you need me. Master Fitzywell. Yes, of course. Harumach kind of melts into the shadows the way that he came. Again, you don't quite see where he's come from or where he's going. Well, I'm so glad you came by again. Perhaps you'll even buy something this time.
Certainly. I'm going to kind of elbow Vapos, like, give him the information, Vapos.
Now, since
Yes.
you're new here, Vapos, I must tell you that our prices include a slight surcharge, only in the support of Roadheart General Store's Institution for the Blind. This is a safe place for folks such as myself who have not gifted with sight, to be safe, to have places that are designed for them to thrive. So we support that by with our goods. Try one of the toffees. I'm very curious to know how they've come out.
Excellent. I'll be sure to try one. But before I do, what I did also want to speak to you regarding a possible relation of yours. You see, I was actually, for a time, I was trained by a Master Fitzywell, far to the northwest of here.
Ah, far to the northwest. A Master Fitzywell, you say?
Yes. I'm afraid I never quite got his first name, but he helped to.
Well, you did
train
actually.
Me.
It was Kui.
Oh, Kui?
It's Quuih.
Okay.
You've only received this message once, so I'm not too surprised.
Okay. Then instead, I'll just say, yes, Master Kui Fitzywell.
He kind of has a reaction to that. He kind of sits back in the chair. Ah, a half-elf. Yes?
Yes.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yes. Queef Master. Interesting. Master of what, if I might inquire?
He finished my training in the Way of the Four Elements. Though I must admit, I no longer walk that particular path myself.
Oh, I see. So, my half-brother fell in with that gang, did he? Always drawn to cults was my half-brother Queef Fitzywell.
Not precisely. I met him after I was kicked out by my previous master.
Well, this is turning into a very interesting story.
I suppose you could say that I've led a rather strange life.
Who hasn't? Well, let us be certain that we are speaking of the same person. Is he over there? And he points toward one of the walls. And for the first time in this darkened room, you notice that the walls are lined with paintings. There are all these paintings, and as you stare at them, your eyes adjusting to the dim light, you start to make out these amazing, amazing paintings. There are landscapes that feel as though, even in this darkened room, you could step into them and enter another world. What he's gestured at is a portrait of a young half-elf. As you walk closer, kind of drawn toward it, Vapos, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that little gimmick.
That's a natural one.
Vapos, you are spellbound by this painting. It is your master. Well, perhaps Vapos forgot his first name for a minute. That's fine. That actually makes total sense. It is a painting of Master Quee Fitzywell as a young man. You knew him as an old man. But you know it's him. Not even because of the appearance of his face, which changed over the years. But there's something about this painting that has captured his pure essence of his personality. The way that he held his boyish shoulders. He's throwing some dice in the painting. He's playing a game. There's a stream with a toy boat in it in the background. And you can hear the stream. You can see the dice turning in midair. You feel as though you are not just in this Master Quee Fitzywell's presence, but like you're witnessing this private moment that speaks so deeply about who he is. A piece of his soul has been captured on the canvas. And you're just standing there experiencing that moment.
Bards, man.
Hey.
Do you
Am I able to speak, or am I?
You are, but you aren't able to stop looking at the painting.
Okay. Yes, that's most certainly him. Though, when I knew him, he was significantly older than this.
Ah.
This is incredible.
Marias is, those of you who can see him, and you can see he's kind of got this smile, and he kind of nods and he says, well, that was when he was just 9 or 10 years old, playing a game off just a little ways from our house. But you might have to pull your friend away from there.
Yeah, I'll take Vapos by the arm and just give him a little tug and try to shake him out of it.
All right, you can do so. She shakes you out of it, Vapos, and you come back to the present time.
My apologies. I got lost in myself for a moment there. But, yes, that is most certainly him.
Well, you have found his half-brother. Also once called a master, though no longer. But how is my half-brother Qui Fitzywell if he has not fallen in with this cult?
He was doing well when last I saw him, though that was several months ago. I will admit I didn't get to know him terribly well. I was lost and very confused when I met him, and
I see.
he helped me through a rather difficult transition.
That explains a lot, actually. And in fact, I may have more recent news of him than you.
Oh?
Yes, he sent a message to me recently, asking for my aid. I'm not able to render much aid, especially as I've been under siege for some months. But, well, my half-brother and I, well, let's just say I wasn't entirely sure why he needed my help. But regardless, I am glad that he did some good in the world if he was a teacher.
He certainly did some good for me, at the very least.
That is wonderful to hear. It's been a long time since I saw him.
I can certainly understand that. If I may ask, do you know where he is or where he might be? I was hoping to be able to speak with him again.
That I do. He seems thoughtful. I am not entirely sure whether it is safe to tell you, however.
I can certainly understand your hesitation. We've only just met. If there's anything that I can do to earn your trust, please let me know.
Well, there are many things. Time being the most obvious. But... Well, I have no reason to distrust you either. It would go a long way toward... Let me actually... You say you have joined Bella Enderall's troop?
I have, yes.
Are you aware of an outstanding bounty or request that Ms. Enderall and cohorts took on for me?
I just heard your friend mention it just now, but we had not spoken of it before then.
I see.
That's my fault. I've been neglectful of bringing him up to speed on everything. We arrived in Arkne a little bit unexpectedly, and I think that in my excitement to introduce him to the relative of his friend, I failed to fill him in on all the information.
Well, it would go a long way toward trust if you could give me any new information whatsoever on whoever is trying to kill me. or have me killed.
I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point we can assume it's them, they who must not be named.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's what I
Vapos
was-
is gonna say to that point. Well, I don't know how much you know in that regard, but I can say that I know with a certain degree of certainty that the aforementioned cult has been searching for great bards and attempting to capture them to use them somehow.
Well, that's alarming.
Indeed. Part of how I met Lady Bella here was in assisting her with defending her father, rescuing her father from their clutches.
But then, if they seek to capture... Now, I am no longer a great bard. Or at least I have not created in centuries.
Yes, but if you were to be killed, then wouldn't there be another great bard of your particular skill set?
Perhaps, if the muse chose a new one, who made the great bargain and went through the trials as I have, but...
I don't have concrete proof of this, but I suspect that the cult is betting that that will be the case. Certainly, it seems a safer bet for them than to assume that you would start creating again, given your affliction.
Well, they're not very good at it, since it's been in 1s and 2s and 5s, and Hramak has been able to deal with all of these issues.
I'm wondering if perhaps they know where you are. One piece of information that we found recently is that they've been tracking the great bards exclusively by their creative output, which, as I'm sure you know, is reflected in the stars. So if you haven't been creating anything, they may simply just not know how to find you
Oh,
and be relying on the power of the Gesh to lead people in your direction.
that's alarming. Well, perhaps someone should speak to Aponiyorn and find out if there's anything more that can be done to hide my location from the stars.
We could certainly do that for you. We spoke to him the last time we were here, and he was very helpful. I did notice that it appears to me that the Gesh might be circling a little bit closer to home. The last time we encountered the sigil that afflicts the Gesh upon people, it was some miles out of town.
The sigil, yes.
Well, we saw something that looks very like it right here in Arkne. And one of our tasks while we're here is to track down the person who wrote the piece of paper on which it appears and find out exactly how much they know about it.
Oh. Well, so there's a piece of paper with the cursed rune that Hramak has described to me?
Yes, it's outside the Mellow Eel Tavern on their job board. I'm not sure. It could be just a piece of graffiti that somebody saw the piece of paper and has inscribed the rune onto it. But I think that we should still talk to the person who wrote the job in question.
I see. I'm trying to find
Speaking of that note, that it was, I'm guessing the one about the pink chill. Mayra's been trying to tell if Fitzywell is well, if he has a rasp, a cough, if his skin is not the right color, because she's a little paranoid from her vision and feels that he's probably a target that way as well.
Well, the sick voice is just my apparent allergies, but he seems pretty unchanged from how you've seen him last. A few more lines under his eyes, perhaps. Worry lines. But that's about it.
Can't fathom where those came from.
Well, this is what I meant to do. Is just do that. All right. Yeah, he does not seem ill. No, he doesn't.
Good.
He says, well, that certainly sounds worth looking into.
Yes. No, we only just saw it last night, so we haven't really had a chance to follow up on it yet. I admit I wanted to come and see how you were doing, hoping that maybe the Gesh wouldn't be an issue anymore, but I can see that it clearly is.
I am offering 90 pieces of silver to anyone who with information that can help identify where this problem is coming from. The governor himself, the Lord Governor, has raised the issue, and the Arkne Guard are none too pleased.
Well, I can only imagine how disturbing it is to everybody living here to have these constant attacks. I mean...
Yes. We don't want to give the Roadheart a bad name any further, for one thing. But yes, please do look into that. Is there anything else about this pink? What's this? What do you mention about the pink chill? Which is isn't that the affliction that's been hurting all the dwarves recently?
Yes, but it is possible that it is going to be afflicting others as well.
That's alarming.
It is.
I suppose you are a dwarf, aren't you, Mavra?
Yes.
Well, some have been saying that we should throw all the dwarves should be thrown out of town. Is that what needs to be done so that the disease does not spread?
No, it is not coming from the dwarves themselves.
You seem certain of this.
I am pretty certain.
Well, that's terrifying. So, what is this? What is this piece of paper that has both the pink chill and the cursed rune upon it? I hope none of you touched it.
Oh, goodness, no. The piece of paper is from a dwarf who lives, if my directions are correct, just outside of town, although I don't know my way around here super well, who is searching for a cure for the pink chill. They seem to be afflicted with it themselves and have been trying all sorts of different things unsuccessfully to cure themselves of it. And as it happens, we have a couple of leads anyway on things that might provide some relief to people with the pink chill. So we were hoping to stop by and kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. Hopefully help this person, but also hopefully find out if they know anything about the gesh that appeared on their notice board.
Well, best of luck. Please let me know what you find, and then I will certainly, trust you.
I didn't ask this when I first saw the notice, Max, but would Vapos recognize the sigil at all from his experience with the Nethros cult?
Nope.
Okay.
It is unfamiliar to him. Actually, everyone else has seen it.
Yeah, didn't we establish that it was dwarven?
We established that it bears a strong resemblance to dwarven magical runes, but we haven't been able to identify, like, it seems to be kind of a unique one that was maybe it was specially created by somebody who knows how to write dwarven runes, but maybe not one that already existed.
Gotcha.
Just FYI, it's there in the handouts on Roll20. Mellow Eel notice board in your journals.
Cool. Well, yeah, Vapos will just speak to Master Fitzwell and say, yes, we will certainly do what we can to uncover whatever information we can find and
Thank you.
let you know.
I look forward to hearing it, and I have 90 silver pieces just for information, ready to give out. Now, if you can bring the person to justice, we can discuss a much greater reward.
I mean, at this point, honestly, finding whoever is doing this, especially considering that they seem to have it out for all the great bards, not just for you, would be reward enough.
I thank you. But perhaps you should not go around saying that I am a great bard if we are a target.
As you wish. I'll keep it under wraps.
Indeed. Ha! Under wraps. Did you hear that, Hromek? And from above, outside, you hear, I heard. Under wraps. Good one. Good one, Bella. And how is your father?
Oh, goodness.
Ain't that a question?
Well, he's sort of he's doing very, very well.
Good. I am glad to hear it.
When last I saw him, His Majesty was in very good health.
Excuse me?
Yes, he's come up in the world a bit. He's become one of the contestants for king in one of the major cities on the coast.
Oh, goodness. That's very dramatic.
Well, he does love the dramatic, my father.
Ha! You are full of puns, Miss Underall.
But yes, he is. He's doing quite well for himself, as I'm sure you can imagine. He's very much enjoying all of the political maneuvering and attention that it brings.
Indeed, I am sure that is true. Well, if you speak to him again, let him know that I wish him the best.
I certainly will.
Or I will, if I can get a message to him sooner than that. Interesting. I will have to find out more.
Well, the last I left him, he was very happily sitting on his throne of driftwood and enjoying immensely the interesting situation in which he found himself. We happened to find an enchanted crown that automatically grants the role of king to whoever puts it on, that being my father. But not everybody is entirely willing to respect the will of the crown, so to speak. So it's, from what I understand, there's something of a civil war going on.
Ah, that must give plenty of fuel to the Inkblood's fire.
I'm sure it does. But he's in West Head. I don't think I mentioned. He's in West Head. So if you want to get in touch with him, I'm sure it'll be pretty easy to find him there.
So he is contending with the undead Duke, who so rudely took over the throne after the glorious empire fell.
So he is.
I see. And there has not yet been determined a winner?
Not the last time I heard from him.
I see. Well, perhaps I should reach out and see if I can offer any assistance whatsoever.
I understand that currently my father is the popular favorite, but the Duke has a number of resources at his disposal that are making it difficult for him to assume true authority.
You know, your father would be another target then of this cult.
Yes, he has been targeted by them. We had to save him from them, in fact.
Oh.
But there are certain protections on the city of West Head which are keeping him safe from them for now. Unfortunately, they seem to be tied to the Duke, so what the status of those protections will be after my father assumes control of the city, I'm not entirely certain.
Something needs to be done then.
I agree.
Well, come and speak with me again. I will find my notes on Master Kui, on my half-brother, and let you know.
Certainly. I hope to come back to you with more information.
I hope that as well. Well, if that's all.
Mayfair would like to get some rations if she can get them here, and maybe a piece of that toffee.
You can indeed. You can indeed.
Yeah, I'll stock up on rations too. I am low.
Yep.
Yeah, so will Vapos.
Okay.
Can I say that this is about the time that Akiri catches up with them and would also like to buy ration?
Okay. The toffee is a copper each, or a silver for 12. The daily rations are kind of these lovingly prepared like dried fish treats, like this dried fish cakes, and these kind of crab rolls that are, it smells really good, and those cost 10 silver apiece.
Does he accept gold?
He does, yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'll pick up 20 rations.
Okay. Notate those down. And with purchase, he'll also refill your water skins for free.
Awesome.
You're helped at that task by a blind halfling who stands, kind of hangs out near the water pump and pumps the water for you as a courtesy. The pump has this bell on the end of the handle, so it goes ding ding every time he pumps it. Ding ding.
Akiri would like to get 20 rations as well.
Okay. Yeah, no, he has lots of them. So he'll happily sell all that to you guys.
Vapos is only getting 6, but he's also getting 2 of the toffees.
Okay. You got it.
Yeah, Maver's getting 20 rations and 1 toffee.
All right.
Screw it, Akiri's getting a dozen.
A dozen what? Toffees?
Yeah!
All right. You are loaded up with candy.
Akiri is fully planning on sharing it, but yes, she absolutely is.
Well, surrounded by all the sound of twinkling bells. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff. It's a general store, you know. There's all manner of things. But surrounded by the tinkling bells and the comings and goings, mostly of blind people, and occasionally getting checked on by Hramak. You make your purchases. You are loaded up. You are stocked up. The taste of Arkne with its dried lake fish and crab rolls, and there's a few other things in there, you know, like various dried fruit and so forth, but those are the main things.
Well, I guess that's it with Master Fitzywell. Unless somebody else has something that they want to say to him, Bella will make her way out of the shop.
Nah.
Yeah.
Akiri gives a wave and then realizes he can't see, and
Farewell, he says, and hurry back. I'll find my notes.
Take care. I'll see you again soon.
All right, you file out past the. There's potter's tools and a old hunting spear and just racks of fishing tackle and baits and stuff like that.
night, Mavra.
Oh, good night.
Night.
Good night.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for playing. All right. Curls or Breath, would you guys want to be doing anything else?
I do believe we are going clothes shopping.
Okay.
Which is why Akiri joined up with Bella and Vapos.
Okay, so you're all going to meet somewhere?
Oh, she met up with him at the general store.
Okay.
And I assume we're now headed towards clothes.
Okay.
Because we wanted a show for Vapos.
Oh, okay. Where are you guys going?
Oh, what is it called?
I've been looking too.
That's the guy with all of the tartans.
The notice board, right?
I believe you were referring to the House of Haggis.
House of Haggis. How could I forget a name like that?
All right. Move yourselves to that location, please. And I have some things I have to open up here.
Oh, it's right next door. That's super convenient.
So you guys kind of come down from the hill, and actually House of Haggis is in this kind of little market square down here, where there's actually some awnings and little vendors set up. Many of them, this is kind of like a quieter, smaller party. There's a couple of old guys just kind of saying, "Choose your work with joy," and then having a drink over the well, allowing any lost ale to kind of splash down. And let me see here. Okay, so there's a kind of a cluster of people outside House of Haggis as you approach. And you can kind of see them walking off with these big bags, kind of looking real pleased with themselves. And as you guys push in, ding ding, goes a bell on the door. More bells on doors, but someone bursts out of the back of the room saying, "And more?" And this male human comes running out of the back. He has like pins kind of stuck through a man bun in his hair and in his kilt, and there's actually thread and a piece of ribbon that's like pinned on to him, not like haphazardly, but like, you know, holding it in place for some reason. And he rushes up and he says, "Hello and welcome to House of Haggis. I am Lance Haggis, tailor and designer extraordinaire." And he does this big bow that causes his kilt to go foomp.
Which side of that are we on? The safe or the unsafe side?
He's facing you.
Okay.
And he has this kind of perfectly done beard that he runs his fingers through for a moment and says, "You look like you are in need of a new look. Am I right?" And he points directly at whoever's in front. Who would that be?
Oh.
I'm volunteering Bella.
Yeah, it's definitely not Vapos.
All right, fine.
You look like you have come seeking a new look. Am I right?
You are absolutely right. We are here to get dressed, sir.
Right this way. And he gestures at a kind of there's clothes in here. There's rows of clothes hung on the walls. There's dresses on a kind of a mannequin nearby, and he gestures toward that, and he kind of directs your attention. And he just kind of frames the dress in his arms, and he says, "From winter strolls along the lake to spring brunch with the girls, this long, wide purple gown is the perfect match for all of your weekend plans. Bright embroidered yellow stripes on soft jersey knit and a ruffled high-low hem make it easy to pair back to fur-lined boots for a look that can go all day long."
Well, that's stunning. I have a bit of an unusual request, and I think that you're exactly the person to help me with this. And Bella's going to pull out her bagpipes and say, "My only requirement in clothing is that it coordinate perfectly with this."
Oh yeah, this guy's supposed to have a Scottish accent, isn't he? I don't know if I'm up to that.
I was wondering. It's fine. We can just imagination it.
Well, he says, "Aha! Yes! Something after me own heart, lassie." And he rushes over to the other side, where he kind of rifles through some stuff on the rack, and he says, if you can have something custom, or perhaps I have just the thing." And he pulls out a hanger with a dress.
It's a utilikilt.
No. And he says, to match your bagpipes, tight lacing is used in this red and gold gown to create a form-fitting garment which girdles at the hips, creating a long-waisted appearance. Silver key hem embroidery suggests the hearth and home, while the fine mink trim will keep a lady warm in chilly spring weather.
I think that looks perfect.
Actually, it's fucking summer in game, isn't it? Keep a lady cool in hot summer weather.
I was about to say, I don't know what season this guy thinks he's dressing people for.
Pretend I was saying summer this whole time.
Absolutely. No, Bella will kind of like hold the bagpipes up to it and sort of eyeball it, and then nod in satisfaction.
It's not quite a perfect match. This isn't a custom piece after all, but it's near. It's near, and this gown seems to have actual gold and silver thread elements.
Well, I mean, I'm not here for adventuring clothes. I'm here for my walking around town clothes, and my walking around town clothes need to say, this is the most important person who has ever arrived in town, so that sounds perfect.
So,
I love Bella so much.
This is a stunning red and gold gown, and silver, as I described. He says, "Well, you can stroll on out of here with this around yourself for a mere amount of money. How about the others of you? You, sir, present an extremely interesting opportunity."
Oh?
Yes, indeed. I'm not sure that I've ever had the pleasure to dress someone with quite your complexion before. Are you here to dazzle in a new look?
Yes, definitely. Definitely yes.
Suppose?
This is a Kiri breaking in.
I suppose that's the case?
She's nodding enthusiastically behind his back, like, yes, say yes, say yes.
Let me see. You might be looking for a new top or bottom?
I suppose probably both, though I will say, due to the nature of my skin, whatever I wear should be relatively water resistant.
Right over here. And he takes you to another corner of the shop, pulls something off of the rack, and he says, no, not this. Puts it away. It's kind of a silvery garment. He pulls something else. Yes. He's got a a kind of a green shirt and short kind of matching pants. He says, "This top is all about the pretty details. Thanks to the manly lace yoke and textured clip dot fabric. It's made specifically to show off those with a special complexion such as yours. But you say you want swimwear? That would be over here."
I don't know if swimwear is the appropriate.
This is made to move you. He pulls off he interrupts you. Totally interrupts you.
Yeah.
He's got this kind of like sleeveless shirt that's kind of like cut in the middle to be, it's made to move you, cut in the middle to be slimming, but from market to mat in no time flat, you can exercise and not worry about any of your slick moves being hindered by this fine fabric. With new, wicking cool fabric purchased from the farthest reaches of the Wildlands, you might not even break a sweat at all.
Does it have a tummy window?
It does.
Amazing.
Vapos is going to look at it and say, "Very impressive, though I think you might be misunderstanding. Perhaps a small demonstration." And I'm just going to run my hands along the cloth, and just a little bit of dampness will be left behind.
Ah, I see. Will you be wanting a one-piece or a two-piece swimwear?
Probably two.
Ah, I see, says the man who sees nothing.
Yeah. Vapos is hopelessly lost in here.
Bella can jump in and say, "I wonder if you have anything in a light wool. I'm thinking that maybe the natural water-repelling powers of lanolin in the wool will have a good effect for my friend here. It's not that he needs to be, constantly water-bound, so much as that he needs to not leave a little puddle everywhere he sits."
Right, yes. Thank you. That's a much better description.
Well, this classic string bikini bottom of water wicking wool has a fun embroidery on it with ties on either side for an adjustable fit, lower rise, and moderate coverage for the man with the perfect derriere.
Yeah, Vapos is going to blush furiously and just say, perhaps something a bit less revealing than that?
Amazing. Fantastic. This is everything I wanted. And more.
Well, this swim robe features a fit and flare shape. I have it in black and I have it in blue with removable straps.
You would look very dashing in black, Vapos.
When he says robe, finally Vapos is like, "Oh, I understand what that is." It's like, yes, I would love to try that.
All right, it'll need a few adjustments, but I think we can make this work for you. He pulls out a kind of a black, kind of an unusual material. kind of a oiled, very supple, water repellent kind of leather, but looks breathable somehow. And you can see it's kind of a swim dress, but he says, "I'm going to make this work for you. It's going to work just fine. Let me talk to the next one of you, but I'm so glad we found something that was right for you." Who else is? You just want to say what you guys want? If I don't know if Bref is there or if Mavra's going to get anything, but we can do her next time.
No, Brett is doing his own thing at the moment.
Okay, so Bref didn't come.
Akiri is looking for something.
Okay. Yes, it's always a pleasure to dress our feathered friends. Now, are you looking for something formal?
Something a little bit nicer, I think. Not like super nice, but like nice, not adventuring clothes.
Of course. I bet I have just the thing. We need some proper clothing for you. He whirls over to another part of the store. And he says, aha. Here we are. For pigeony folks such as yourself, a cold shoulder dress with a self-tie detail to keep the scoop back in place. Soft cotton knit, round neck, long flutter sleeves for as you glide through the air on your feathers. Bust darts provide shape and the perfect fit. No closure and pullover styling.
That's so pretty. I love it.
Wonderful. As you can see, the open back with straps will allow your wings to flare out and do their thing in all their glory.
That's perfect.
And he's going to try to press a kimono onto Mavra, but we can roleplay that next time. All right. Very well. Now I'm just going to tailor this thing for you if you're ready to say go. He says to Vegas.
Yes. How much will this cost?
Well, your piece, since I do have to do a little bit of tailoring, but I'll discount that since I didn't have just the right thing for you off the rack. So we'll say I think I can't see myself doing it for less than 200 silver.
20 gold BT dubs.
Yes. I think I can accept that. Do you take
Excellent.
gold?
Yes, I suppose. Yes, gold will do.
Thank you very much. And I'll hand him 22 gold, giving him a bit of a tip.
All right. Is everyone not paying together? You're all paying. Oh, thank you, sir. I like you. I'm going to do an extra good job now. You're not all paying together? You're each separate?
Yes, I think so.
All right. Well, your tight-laced red gown will run 245 pieces of silver. And Akiri, your cold shoulder dress is 220 silver.
I really need to break down my platinum at some point.
Oh yeah, it might be hard to get this guy to accept platinum. I can lend you the gold pieces if you need it.
Would you mind?
Sure. How much do you need
How
again?
much was it? Max?
220 silver is the price, so that would be 22 gold pieces.
Yeah, Akiri will give you. We'll exchange a. She'll exchange 1 platinum with you.
All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Are you able to pay the 245 silver?
If I can pay it in part gold and part silver, then I can do it easily.
He has no problem with that.
Okay, cool.
All right. So some of the other people in the store, they've come into the store at this point, and he's going to come over and help them. They kind of noticed, you notice them kind of like watching you guys, kind of like eyeing you, checking you out. They seem to be humans and half elves.
Is it like? Are they eyeing us with like curiosity or more of like interest or they're loaded. We're sticking a pin in that for later.
Make an insight check to determine. Very nice. 18. You tell first, so it's a mixture. At first, their reaction seems like, whoa, these people are, bit rough looking and have like obviously magical gear, right? Weapons and such. But then their second thing is like, oh boy, they're paying in gold. Like, huh? Let's put a pin in that for later, as you said.
Cool. Cool. Fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Lance Haggis says, such a pleasure. I do have some accessories for sale. Check out the racks by the door. I'm going to help some other customers. And do return, because it is always lots of fun. And he gives you a big fat wink before he runs off to help the other customers.
I forget how much fun it is to come in here, and then we actually come in here, and it's just an absolute delight.
As always. All right, so I guess we probably don't have time to go to the library right now, because we have to do the important thing with the pink chill guy.
Speaking of,
Hello, Chris.
shopping has been going on. I've been making my way around town.
Okay.
Making my way downtown.
Trying to locate, not contact, but locate where and what people know about audio from Unamiddle? The person who left the note on the board.
It's True Anvil, as you get corrected by the first person you ask. Are you inquiring in anywhere particular, or are you just kind of walking around kind of asking general passerby?
Knowing Breath, I'd probably start on the dock where I was. If that did not provide anything, I'd probably head back to the Mellow Eel and ask around there.
Okay. Yeah. What they're doing is taking them a couple of hours, so you definitely have plenty of time to make a gather information check. So go ahead and make a charisma roll. Yeah, just go ahead. It's going to be charisma. God.
We all know that this can only go one way.
People.
Wow.
Says the very dirty barbarian man.
Hey! You know this person? Do you know True Anvil?
So the DC on this was 8.
Rip.
Bref is having a very unproductive. So Bref, here's what happens. When you're going around and you're like, "Hello, do you know who Outhilled True Naval?" Or however you would did. I don't know what. And people are kind of like narrowing their eyes at you, kind of look you up and down, and you know you're not sure if it's a reaction to the name or your mispronunciation of the name or just all of you, but they are not really giving you an answer.
Okay, yeah, that's how I spend my time. Just kind of probably rousing suspicion.
Yep, arousing suspicion. That's how you spend your time. So by the time you end up, where do you guys meet up?
I think we had planned to meet back at the Mellow Eel when we were done with our stuff.
So by the
That sounds right.
By the time you end up back at the Mellow Eel, Bref is there eating lunch and kind of probably with a I'm gonna guess he has a kind of a dour look on his face, an unusually sad look on his face, and he's kind of being avoided by the other patrons, which are all manner of folk, but there's like a couple of tieflings who are themselves being ostracized. They're like avoiding him.
Guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but the people in this town are really, really rude.
Bref, what happened?
I was just trying to make some sly and subtle conversation to ascertain greater details about this True Anvil person who put up the pink chill with the you-know-what on it. But every time I ask people, they just brush me off completely. I don't understand why.
Well, the people here can be a little sensitive, I think, Bref. So, I'll see if I can find anything out.
Oh, good luck.
So, I guess Bella would like to go up to one of the people who she's tipped. So whoever is like working at the bar, and she will order lunch and drinks for the table and then subtly inquire about Mr. True Anvil.
Okay. Well, there's still a party going on outside, but people are coming in here for like better and higher quality like drinks and stuff. So you're gonna have to drop, and they're also kind of slightly upcharging you guys because that's like the policy at the Mellow Wheel right now. So you are going to have to drop a couple of silver on drinks and lunch.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. But then you will get to talk to what was her name? Marguerite or something like that. And the lady in the green dress, and you will have advantage when you charisma check her.
That's better. 18.
Much better.
All right. Well, the DC on this did go up, but that's good roll. 18. So she says, "Oh, interesting." She'll kind of be by the table and come and talk to you for a moment, and she says, "You want to know about the enchanter?"
Yes. Well, we noticed that he left a job posting on your job board right outside, and we were wondering if anybody in town knew anything about him before we headed over there. Just, so we're not going in blind, so to speak.
Well, there is she.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
First thing you would know, one would have thought that the author of Travels in Cherkidia would know how to pronounce it, but of course, she seems to be enjoying that you didn't know that. But yes, would know that it's a female dwarven name. But yes, that is the Traveler's Path enchanter, our resident enchanter in town. Well, I say resident. She's hardly ever home.
Oh, really? Does she travel much?
I suppose she travels doing business or gathering materials for her enchanting. But yes, she sells enchantments and magical goods. Actually, she, I believe, up until recently, made the magical weaponry of the Arkne, or they had commissioned quite a number of things from her, as far as I heard.
Well, that makes sense. I see. Well, I certainly hope that she's in town, considering that she left a job posting on the job board.
Well, I don't know. That was left there quite some time ago now.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That was very helpful information.
Certainly. Anytime. For my favorite customer.
I'll give her the trademark Bella finger guns. And I'll head back to the table and convey this information to everybody and say, I think we should head over to the Traveler's Path Enchantments to see if we can possibly catch this person in between her jet-steady lifestyle.
All right.
Bella,
Yes?
How did you do that?
Sometimes you just have to pay people to like you.
See why you're the charismatic one.
I have spent so much money in this town.
Well, you leave the Mellow Tavern and head across this square where at this point in the afternoon, the party is really still kind of getting a second wind. And you head past the blacksmith and the potion maker and a few cottages and the Arkne station. You head up this path and you realize that this place is kind of halfway down the hill, almost next door to Roadheart General Store, but down the hill a ways. So it's actually right over here. And this unusual looking building has a tree coming up out of the middle of the roof. And the tree is, it's this bright summer green, but there's something has something odd about it. And the whole building, indeed, kind of gives you this feeling somehow that just that it's like, you know, at certain angles, it almost looks like larger or smaller. And at certain other angles, it looks like the paint is peeling and chipping off, like actively falling off of the building. And then as you come a little bit closer, you realize that actually, no, it's freshly painted. Or just normal looking. There is this balcony, and there's all these plants on the balcony. And all of the plants that are on this building are kind of moving in the breeze, but and fluttering their leaves, and there's something about that movement that's a little hypnotic, but it's not welcoming. It's somehow like it's beautiful, but it's more quirky than cute, if that makes sense. Standing just outside the front door is there is set a shiny suit of armor covered in runes. As you walk up the dusty road and approach, you can see the light glinting off, the afternoon light glinting off of this suit of armor standing outside the door.
By the way, before we leave the Mellow Eel, I forgot to say this. So if I have to run back up to the Mellow Eel and do this, okay. I'll do that real quick.
Sure.
I wanted to grab the piece of paper off of the board, being very careful not to touch the sigil.
Okay.
Because I don't want anyone to touch the sigil while we're gone, and also I want to show it to her.
You take the paper, you fold it up, and you put it in your pocket. Okay. All right, so you're carrying that when you guys approach here. The door is closed. There are no. The windows are all shuttered. And there's a sign hanging just over the suit of armor that says the Traveler's Path. Enchanter's Shop with a double PE. There's a smell, a fragrance like of wild spices and faraway places that hovers around the Traveler's Path.
I guess we should go in.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, you walk up the path to the front door. You step over some steps that lead up to it, and as you reach out to the closed door, the suit of armor scrapes, and it straightens up. The runes embossed into every part of it kind of flash a little bit in the afternoon light with magic. And from within the helmet, you hear a voice. We're closed. Mistress Truanville is on important work business away, and we are closed. When it talks, there's this clanking sound as the helmet visor moves up and down like a mouth.
Well, that's terrifying.
Pardon me. we were here about the notice that was posted on the sign.
The notice that I am giving you is that we are closed. The notice that you have must be some other kind of notice.
We have information about the pink chill?
I am Artie, the armor. And I am sure that Mistress True Anvil will be happy to do business with you when she returns.
Do you have any idea when that might be, Art? I'm sorry, forgive my manners. I am Breath. I don't wear any armor.
I forgive you.
But do you have any idea when she may return?
Her trips average between 2 and 4 weeks. She has been gone.
How long has it been since she left?
1 3/4 of a week.
I have no idea how much time might be left.
I sympathize. Artie does not know when the mistress will return.
All right, thank you, Artie. What do we want to do?
You're welcome.
Well, that's particularly frustrating for a number of reasons, but I guess this is a dead end for now. We might want to swing by here again after we're finished with a curious thing. I mean, mostly just because of the sigil. I'm so curious to get some information as to what on earth is going on with that. And I mean, honestly, the fact that she's a dwarven enchantress makes me think that even if she didn't put the sigil on here, she might be exactly the right person for us to talk to, since I'm assuming that she knows more than most people about dwarven runes.
That checks out. I agree. That sounds like a reasonable course of action.
Sounds like a plan, then.
Who shall I say called when the mistress returns?
The Wanderers.
The Wanderers. Yes.
I like him.
I like you too. Who are you?
I am Akiri.
Hello, Akiri. I am Artie, the armor.
It's nice to meet you, Artie.
Thank you. We're closed.
Right there.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion we probably won't get anything else out of him.
Yeah. Perhaps we should go?
Well, I mean, there is always the library as an option of a place we could go. Or, now that I'm thinking about it, perhaps we should stop by Stars and Signs and speak with that gentleman again with this new information we have about targeting of the great bards. Because he was very helpful last time, if a bit crotchety.
I mean, we did kind of burst into his house.
We did do that, yes. This time, we will not do that.
I hope we don't have to do that again. I hope he doesn't try to run away from us again.
I mean, he can only see so many bad omens about our arrival, surely. This time we're not even trying to kill anybody. And we're not going to summon any ancient demons in an abandoned house either. So far we're going much better.
You all had a very strange experience while you were in this town last time, didn't you?
You have no idea.
It's going much more smoothly now.
Well, I suppose that's better than the alternative.
Well, Stars and Signs is the local soothsayer. He reads the stars, and he's quite good. And we spoke to him last time a little bit against his will. And but I'm hopeful that he'll be able to give us a little more information about what's happening with the great bards, maybe. Because I'm very interested in that, and I would also love to be able to return to Mr. Fitzywell with some good information as well, now that this lead has dried up.
Okay. Yes, that certainly makes sense.
Okay. You guys take some time and walk off. The suit of armor stares at you as you leave, a little disconcertingly. Make your way back across town to Stars and Signs, which has this. It's a dilapidated building, and there's all these holes that have been knocked in the roof, where there are these numerous telescopes that are sticking out of the holes toward the sky in many different directions. So move yourselves over here. And as you're walking up, though, coming out on the boardwalk is a troop of what looks to be children of various races. But they're all kind of trundling along, talking and laughing. Most of them rushing toward the center of town, actually. And they're swinging books and little chalkboards.
And they're coming out of Stars and Signs?
They are.
Oh, cute.
As the last one, they've all left the building by the time you come up, and it's shut up. But you can see there's some light and movement within through the curtains.
I really hope we don't have to do this again.
I will knock on the door.
When you do, there's a little scream from inside. Ah! And you hear a voice, "No, go away."
I mean, we will if we have to, but we really want to speak with you. We promise that we're not here to cause any trouble this time.
Not again, not again.
Look, we have some more information about what's happening with the great bards and the stars, and we were wondering if you could help us with that.
Oh, I suppose if I don't open up, you're just gonna knock the door in again, aren't you?
No, we won't. That was regrettable.
This bright eye appears in a crack in the curtains low to the ground. Fine.
We're awfully sorry about what happened last time. We just want to come in and consult your expertise.
Ah! There's a blue guy with you! It's him.
Hello, my name is Vapos.
Servant of two masters. Dark masters. The master of blood water technique.
Not...
Ah! The scream is a little louder and he closes the curtains.
I don't serve any masters anymore.
Yes, he's completely reformed.
That's what they all say.
Can you please let us in? We just want to talk.
Make a persuasion check.
This is gonna go great for Kiri.
You do have advantage because of everyone trying to help.
Actually, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Never mind, we're okay.
Okay, but please don't hurt me or do anything bad. You hear a lot of locks being unbolted, slid back. Finally, the door opens. You look down and you see there's this little gnome, this aged male gnome. He's got this total hodgepodge of clothes. Like, he looks like he dressed himself in the dark. They're all different. Like, he's got one sleeve that's like pink and another that's green. You know, it's like he put on like three shirts that like three pieces of a shirt all together. He's got like a vest, but like half a vest. His pants are all patchwork and strange looking. He is wearing on his right hand this ring with an oversized amethyst, and he has a chain around his neck with some kind of medallion under the patchwork shirt. His beard is gray and braided on this gnome, and that part is well cared for. He's missing one eye. His face is very sunburned and wrinkled. And his one remaining eye shines with a piercing brown. I am not, and still not, the great bard of astrology that you seek.
Oh, we know. Yes, we managed to. Well, we're in the process of tracking her down.
Oh no!
What we were more looking for.
Okay, just come in. Just shh. He
Okay.
steps out of the way of the door and holds it open. You guys trundle in. You see that his living room, which is piled with star charts and books and all this kind of stuff, that's all been pushed to the side. And there's a kind of a schoolroom set up in the main living room with like small desks and chairs, kind of in rows. And there's a blackboard low to the ground for a gnome, but still like with stairs so that he couldn't reach the top, leaning against the far wall up against a bookcase. And kind of hanging in the middle of the room is an orrery that's also a candelabra. So there's this model of planets and planes with candles set in the planets. So it's well lit in here for schoolwork, but there are like drips of wax down on the desks.
I want one of those. Sounds so cool.
He shuts the door behind you as soon as you come in. The last one comes in, and he starts locking and bolting it. All the locks and bolts are way down at the bottom of the human-sized door.
Yeah, once he's finished locking the door, Vapos will offer him a hand.
A hand with what?
Like to shake his hand.
Oh, you want to shake my hand? Very well, Vapos.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm glad you turned out to be Vapos the watery monk, not Vapos the vile. That was one possibility, you know. He heads off to the...
Glad things turned out this way too.
Come on, we'd better check the skies. And as he's taking you guys up the stairs, he says, You saved one of the great bards. But you're going to have to hurry if you want to save the rest. Or if you're really going to become one. And he looks right at Bella. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Great Bard of Puns confirmed?
Awesome.
Anyways, everyone in this town is a fucking hoot. I love it.
All right.
I forget how much I love Arkne until we come back here, then I'm like, oh yeah, this place is so much fun.
Awesome.
All your best NPCs are here, Max, I'm sorry, but there's an overconcentration of fantastic NPCs in this town.
Don't let Bella hear you say that.
Yeah.
I mean, the best NPC is still elsewhere, but
That's true.
I'll concede that, you know, these are pretty solid.
I actually planned this town out so long ago. It's actually the very first entry in my, 100+ page notes for this campaign.
That's crazy.
Because I actually created the town just before we started the campaign. So yeah, the Arkne was actually the first thing ever created. So it's had the most preparation applied to it.
That's crazy.
But thank you, and I'm glad you enjoyed. Yeah, all right, town episode. Wow, some interesting things and some interesting character meetups happened this time. Marias Fitzywell, very interested to hear about his half-brother. Poniorn, very interested to... you guys, by the way, the gnome does introduce himself as a Poniorn, astrologist. And it please you. Thank you to Man with No Screen Name, who hung out in chat, and to anyone else watching. Thank you, you're awesome. Thank you to anyone who watches this later. You are super cool, and we appreciate you. Thank you to Jeremy, player of Breath. Thank you to M, player of Akiri. Thank you to Kirsten, player of Bella. Thank you to Corey, player of Vapos. And a big thank you to Danielle, player of Mavra. We love you all, and let's hopefully we'll get to play again next week, and we can continue adventures in Arkne.
Night, guys.
Bye, all.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, and keep an eye on the Discord for art and other fun chat. All right, bye.